Now we will wrap things up with another recruiting story, and Kentucky landing 4-star offensive tackle Jarvis Strickland. This is a guy, we'll pull up the tape here in a second, from Paducah, Kentucky. And we're both pretty impressed by this guy. 6'6", about 300 pounds, good athlete, and a nice pickup for the Wildcats.
Yeah, shout out to Vince Marrows, the tight ends coach, recruiting coordinator, of course, offensive line coach Eric Wolford, all doing their part here on this recruitment. Michigan, Ole Miss, Tennessee, North Carolina with Bill Belichick, Louisville, a lot of big-time schools after Strickland. Kentucky gets it done, keeps him home. And when you look at the player, this is the first commitment in the class for Kentucky. I went into this expecting the usual Kentucky just mauling kind of run blocking offensive lineman. This dude right here is extremely athletic. You see him in space. You see his ability to hit small targets. 6'6", 294. He looks it. He looks lean. He looks good, but certainly athletic. His teammate, Martellus Carter, safety signee for the 2025 class. So he's already there. Of course, he's the local kid. He visited for the Tennessee game. He said, I saw the players. They were locked in and ready to play. Crowd was amazing. Everybody was tuned in. They had a light show before the players came in. He liked that. And then Coach Marrow sent him a graphic of 29 former players in the NFL, including 5 offensive linemen. So that kind of caught his attention. That's the selling point if you're Kentucky, on top of being in the local school and just the great environment and everything else, is you're saying, look, people don't look at us like an NFL factory, but Kentucky has clearly become an NFL factory. They produce quarterbacks that start games in the NFL. They produce a bunch of running backs that play a key role at the NFL level. Offensive line, defensive line, those guys come in at quite a big numbers every single year. Talk about, different positions. Right now they got a corner, and Maxwell Hairston is going to be potentially a first-round pick. So they are doing an incredible job of evaluating.
And here he is playing in high school. Here he is. He's already played at Kentucky's stadium there.
Yeah, so this is a guy who he belongs, man. Look at that pass set. Look at that size. I think this is a guy that you could see in the NFL draft in a few years because he's got the height, which you can't fix height. His weight's already good. He doesn't need to lose a lot of weight, but with his size that he has right now, the weight gain should not be anything crazy. That's easy to project. And then the athleticism you see him running, you see, run blocking, you see him pass blocking. This is a program that develops its offensive linemen. I think this is a huge pickup. Again, you look at the ratings. He's a 4-star player, and just from a rating standpoint, kind of depends who you look at on the composite, which is all the ranking systems combined. He's 407 for a low 4-star, but 247 as a number 203 player overall in the country, all positions. So 247 is particularly high in him. I tend to agree with them just because watching these clips, having seen a lot of linemen develop into NFL players and seeing what they look like at this age, he is right on track. He's got long arms. He can bend his knees. He can move laterally. He has pretty good technique. This is not a particularly raw player. Like we mentioned earlier, he's run blocked and pass blocked in high school. Sometimes you see teams that only pass or only run. They're raw in other areas. He can do both. And then the space, where you see the athleticism, you see the ability to run, see the ability to get low and hit a small target. I think he's excellent in that category, and he's going to be a huge addition to the Kentucky Wildcats. They had a nice portal period. I thought, some of the guys that they added there, particularly on the offensive line. So that tradition continues. We'll see how the whole thing plays out.
First commit for this class for Kentucky. Number 1 player in the state, so obviously a great start.
Start at the top.
Yeah. Would you be concerned at that, number right there if you're a Kentucky fan, understanding the recruiting cycle has been pushed up with a lot of these dates?
Yeah, and look, I think it's going to be, when you get a guy like this, you send a message to the rest of the state and you start to land some guys. They're all about evaluation. This was a battle they won, but a lot of their battles that they win are more evaluations where they just find the right guys. Sometimes those are late bloomers. Sometimes you have those guys at camps. Sometimes you see them at like Under Armour camps and you get their times and their drill work on video, and you see what they do in the 40 and their size, and those guys rise up the boards. I trust this evaluation system. And again, I'm really excited to see this team on the field because you just look at their portal class, some of these names that they've added. True Edwards, we did a video on him when he signed with Kentucky. Kendrick Law from Alabama, very talented, highly rated guy. And then 2 players, Pete, that we both thought were just awesome gets. If you recall, we made videos on both of these guys, which is Shiaz Pete who I think was from the Sioux Nation. He was
New Mexico State kid.
New Mexico State kid, a Native American background, 6'8", 320, good athlete, really interesting player on film. I think he could potentially be an NFL player. Again, same developmental system we're talking about. And then McQuise, I was saying it right, Humphrey Grace, the big kid from South Dakota. We thought he looked the part of an NFL edge rusher, 6'4", 255, really standing out in the tape we watched. So those are two guys. If you're a Kentucky fan,
I think that's Mike Keese.
Go watch some of the videos we've done on Kentucky. We broke all these guys down because we like to stay on top of the portal. So very impressed with some of the stuff Kentucky's done. Troy Stellato, guy that we saw here in South Florida, speedster from Clemson, who's going to add some juice to that room. But I mean, they signed a ton of guys, man. 19 in the portal for Kentucky. So we'll see how it turns out. But I'm excited to watch this program develop.
Keep it locked here on Group Chat Sports. This is Group Chat Football Live. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you want more updates like this about college football across the country and your favorite teams. We will have you covered here on Group Chat Sports. Like, subscribe. Thank you all for watching today.